There we go. Good evening, good afternoon to those in the Southern Hemisphere. And welcome back to Pepper's Echo, the NA discussion. And on the other side of the world, in Bat and Bang, who's really having a bat and a bang with these exercises and club that he's going to these days, being smacked up by the monks and that, literally. Nelius, welcome, bro.
How's it going, Andre? Good to be back, man.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, welcome to Pepper's Echo, the NA discussion, where we find nothing not applicable. However, we look at the man from the outside looking inside. So we're not sitting with heavily researched, matched up everything. We're just looking at what does it look like to you from the outside. And very much something I think that Nelius has been trying to drive in that, but found concerning for us both at the moment is, you know what, we're not in South Africa. We haven't been for about, myself at least a year and a half, and I think yourself very, very closely, similarly amount of time or whatever. And just getting some expats together and saying, you know what, join in, just say something, be there, and just make your voice heard. If there's nothing else you can do, just make your voice heard. But the lack of interest is concerning, because you know what, this is why we do what we do over here, because there's possibly very little that we can put our fingers into the pie, and this is the only way that we can get some skin in the game, is to say, you know what, this is what it looks like to us from outside. This is what it looks like to us, and obviously we try and follow a few streams and things to get a little bit more of a decent or decisive point of view, because if we had to follow mainstream media, we'd be probably traumatized by now. But
yeah,
because mainstream media is just really, really impossible. It's as we derived last week, it's the reason why people are on the other side of the fence, because that's where mainstream media puts them. And I think mainstream media does that because of the simple reason that that's what sells. That's what sells. But today we're very angry with the EFF again still.
Again still.
Yeah, again still. How's that for a South African comment? Again still.
Always.
And today I decided to say F off EFF. F off. That's what your EFF stands for. F off.
Exactly.
I can give you a couple of different connotations, but this will make it totally a foul-mouthed scenario if we actually get to do that. But anyway, once again, please subscribe. Let's get that back up. Please like and subscribe. It's the only way that we actually get around the channel being new, and obviously with a little bit of controversy on the channel as well. YouTube is not too keen on punting it around either. So your liking and your subscribing is the only way that we are able to get out there.
I wonder why YouTube does not like our discussion.
You wonder. Because they're mainstream media, that's why. But yes, we do have the email address. If there's anything that you would like to discuss, like us to discuss, like to bring up a topic, anything, we're wanting to look at the death sentence, we're wanting to look at the old South Africa, why does people look back to the old South Africa, comparing old new governments, any points, anything, finances, money, you name it, we're pretty much open to everything. It doesn't need to be a political point. It just needs to be clean, and it doesn't have to not be controversial, but it just needs to be clean, cannot be biased in the sense of racist or derogatory or anything to that effect, because it becomes unfair and a little bit uncouth. However, please drop it on the email, peppersecho@gmail.com. If you know of anybody who's would happily come on and talk about a certain subject or situation, we'd love to have them on. The last person we had on was Urban Viking, and that really was received very well. I'm looking forward to having him back again sometime, because he did I think he's joined up with that lady that he spoke about.
Yeah, that's correct. It seems like things are going well.
It's fantastic. So we'd like to do a little bit of follow-up there. But if you are somebody who does something interesting or has an interesting opinion or some interesting information, please do contact us. The address is at the bottom here, Pepazeko, P-E-P-R-S, there is no E, at gmail.com, and let us know. Once again, as I've always said, when we get to doing huge facts, we sort of scratch the top and we sort of query the situations and say, why, how come, what the hell, and all that wonderful stuff. But then there's a couple of bigger guys that stick their heads sort of deep into the politics and that. So I do link them in the in the comments below. Memories, yeah, think about it later. But Ronaldo Gous, Chris Wyatt, Roman Kabinak with Morning Shot, and Germ Warfare, Battle of Ideas. Have I left anyone? Yeah, sorry, Joe. I do apologize. Joe Emilio. I think he's running a show currently. I don't know if it's finished. I think it's still there in Cape Town. Do pop over to Joe Emilio. Take a look. His other job is a comedian, or should I say his main job, and he does a really, really good job about it. So I would suggest you go out and give him a squeeze. Right, but right now, and I know last week I said one last thing as well to actually come up with. I did say we were going to talk about a little bit of mental health and that for guys and that, and I was supposed to be able to bring it out in Tuesday, Wednesday, which I didn't because I so struggled. Once again, yes, because it affects me too. And I so struggled. I just didn't want to bring it out until I could get the right intro for it. So it's like, I know it's only a 15-minute video that I'm going to be probably doing, but it has to be right. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. And that is probably part of the procrastinating mental block that a lot of people do, is they don't get the job done because of some little knick-knack that could quite possibly have been overlooked. We could have just done some little jumble start and actually got it sorted out like Pepazeko was done. I mean, we had some kind of Blues Brothers start on it when we started with it, and now we've got a decent intro. But yes, so it has started. I will probably show you towards the end. I can show you the intro, but don't want to go looking for it now. I'm taking up time. But so yes, we should have a content video out by Tuesday, Wednesday this week. I do apologize for last week at all. But getting on to the main subject, EFF, F off EFF. We said that we did not want to cover Brackenfell because it had been flogged to death. But guess who stormed out there again on Friday? Yeah,
exactly. I didn't actually think much was going to come of it, but never underestimate the EFF, man. If they say they're going to do something, at least they stick to what they're doing, but also very stupidly so, and stupidly going about things and wasting taxpayers' money once again with all the flashbangs we had to waste. So the mainstream media obviously loved what was going on there, but yeah, let's jump into it, man. I don't think that they necessarily achieved what they wanted to achieve, and I sort of think that they're starting to become the laughing stock here, which I'm quite enjoying, because as much as it angers me, it is starting to get pretty laughable. Andre, I don't know if you think this has reached a laughable level yet, but shit, man.
It is. They're really pathetic. But the problem is their patheticism is so antagonizing that it's, yeah. Yes, on their way. So this isn't at the school yet. This is busy passing a Hyundai garage and doing their normal stuff. They started lighting fires in the fields, stoning the... they broke the cars of Hyundai factory. Well, not the factory, the dealership, and stoned the fire brigade as they came along. Check this out, jump on the car, pulls off the windscreen.
Came into this nou hier met Brackenfell, het kan zien bij. Dat is deze gewoon weggelegd aan het doen.
So yeah, then we've got one there. And then, yeah, so they're being vindictive again. You know, it's like, that. Don't tell me that's peaceful. And then we had the cops actually having to do a little bit of chase away, because let's get just a little bit of perspective on this first of all. First of all, they did get and I don't know how they do it because our court system's tossed up again, but they get
This one, most definitely, yeah.
They get authorization to be able to protest at Brackenfell High School. Okay, now they get authorization to protest. They're protesting against racism because of and this is where I also want to smack E-News to pieces, because E-News reported it as a white racist or a whites only function, which wasn't the case. Let's get the case clear quickly. Brackenfell High School, due to COVID, did not have a matric dance this year, as did many, if not all, the other schools. Brackenfell High School took it upon themselves, between the parents and everyone, said, listen, you know what, we still want to make it special for the school kids. So they went and made an arrangement to organize a private function for the kids to have a end of the year function still. Now, as we all know, matric dances are big money, big bucks, and it's always glamorous and great. And so, yes, you know, inevitably somebody doesn't go, inevitably somebody goes overboard. But still, it does cost a lot of money. So now imagine having to fund this yourself. They ended up having to charge, and I stand corrected, about 500 Rand per head. Or is it per couple? I'm not too sure, but it was, or the tickets were 500 Rand.
Not that bad, if you think
of it. It's not
that
bad if you think it's a matric ball and or matric dance or end of the year dance or end of the year function or whatever. And it's food and venue, and you know what? It's a smart venue. It's not somebody's backyard or garage or something to that effect. Okay, and emails and invites were sent to everybody. Now I'm probably going to get crucified in the process for my next few statements and that as well. It was predominantly white, apparently all white, that went to this function, and blacks students choose not to. And yeah, yes, Divan. Quick hello to Divan over there, giving us the 100.
I don't see, Andre, I don't see what the big issue is with that. I mean, any South African would know that, look, your matric ball and the matric dance, I think especially more for the girls, it's one of their very, very big milestones in their life that they seriously look forward to, wearing that expensive dress, walking down the carpets, arriving in a nice car, having pictures taken. It's a tradition that's been going on for years and years and years. And I don't see how it's any problem at all. In fact, I salute the parents who said that, listen, I would like to have my child to have that experience at the end of their matric year. So let's actually take it upon ourselves to make sure that a few of these kids actually can have this experience, even in the midst of what this COVID-19 pandemic has brought us. You know, it's perfectly understandable. And I think swinging that to saying, oh, but only white people rocked up. Who gives a shit? They paid to be there. Anybody else could pay to be there too.
It was an open invite. They are claiming that it wasn't an open invite, but it was an open invite, and the black students did not attend. And then, you know what? I think you end up with a situation or scenario as follows. And as I say, don't crucify me. It's just an assumption. It may not be right. I'm open to everything on this as well. But, you know, you find your groups. You'll also find that it's probably only a certain group of that school that actually said yes, because it's these people that sort of associate with each other as such. And then you'll find that even if you're a black student who could afford to go, and your friends weren't going and you wanted to go, but you probably didn't want to go because you knew you're not really going to enjoy it because you're with that group of people. Or maybe you didn't want to be the only black person going. But you know what, inevitably you would have found that there was only a certain group that actually probably went from the school as such. Many did, but maybe groups. Let me say groups as such. And we stick together. I mean, take a look. Go to any meeting, go to any party, go to any function, go to any gathering, and take a look. The people group off together in their groups. There is no You know what?
Yeah.
That's unless it's a biker rally. Bikers are friendly to everybody, by the way. Bikers just encompass everybody. But so yes, this occurred, and so the EFF decided this is racist. They want the teachers that were involved with this arrangement to be dismissed. I think they're wanting the headmaster dismissed. They're unhappy because there's mainly white teachers, if not all white teachers at the school. Never mind whether they're good or not, or whether they teach well or not. That's not the option over here. And what do they think this is? Clicks or something? Not everybody bends over for the EFF, by the way. And
it's not in Brackenfell.
Yeah, this is Brackenfell, and it's a nice place. I lived there. It's the only place that I've ever owned a house was in Brackenfell. So it's not a flippin' backyard pumpkin on the roof gutters place or something like that. What do I look like to you? I look like a freaking redneck. But so yeah. It's a decent average neighborhood, if you know what I'm saying, where the people work hard. You've usually got people who are working hard over there. They earn well, but they work hard for their earnings, and they are very family orientated as well. And obviously they care about their children. So now let's take a look. The kids are writing exams and matric finals and all this wonderful stuff. On this Friday, the EFF decides that they are going to protest against racism. Well, you know what? Where's proper protest being done? You know what? Where you should be doing, where there is wrong. Now you go and dig up these little weeds somewhere along the line. Are they too scared to go where it actually matters? Is my next question. I do believe they're too afraid to actually go where it matters, because yeah, they are. So they get a authorization to protest at Brackenfell School from 12 o'clock on Saturday, on Friday.
It must have happened in the first place, which upsets me.
Exactly, because why would you give a license to go to protest a school during exam time?
Look, if my child was writing an exam there, and I know it's the matric finals, it's your A levels, it's year 12. It's not like it's just any willy-nilly exam. It's very, very important. I would have probably been arrested right now, because I would not allow anybody to go protest anywhere close to where my child is writing an exam that could have a massive impact on the rest of their future. And this is not only my child. And once again, this is where people would bring race in. These are white kids, black kids, Indian kids, colored kids. All of them are sitting there in the same rooms, and you're protesting racism towards one group of people who were allegedly racist, which wasn't even the case. So I just want to link a story in there before I forget. I actually spoke to two of my American friends here, and they asked me what's going on with the whole thing, because they heard the South Africans talking or saw something on the media. And I explained to them what was going on. And this one guy sat back, he was like, Neely, hold up. Let me get this straight. So because this radicalized political party in your country did not get invited to a party, I'm like, no, they didn't get invited to the party because there were only white kids there. This is now a reason for them, because they didn't get invited to a party, to actually go and cause damage, massive damage to public property. Are you kidding me? How can this be true? And like, my friend, go take a look. Yes, this is how ridiculous it actually got. I think we've gotten so used to the EFF responding stupidly, and that these things don't make sense, that we actually forget to actually take a step back and see how ridiculous this whole Brackenfell situation is.
Let me bring up another surprise for you quickly. This is at the protest on Sunday, on Friday. I think it's Jack Markowitz. Jack, talk to us.
Praat.
The situation here in Brackenfell is the same as every single white neighborhood in the whole country. The racism is instilled in the bones of these people. The only difference is here that it's more open and violent. I went to a private school with mostly white kids, and this thing happened all over. We had parties where we didn't invite black kids. Black kids only hung out with each other. It's a violent space to grow up in this country. Nothing has changed. It's only gotten worse in the past 30 years. And today, I think we want to have that confrontation with these whites. So these private security guys standing there with their guns, they're threatening us. The PPA has been threatening us. It's a violent state to live in. And today, I think it's time we fight back.
Let me continue info just quickly.
God, I wish I could have a fight with that boy. Ek sal van pak slaagies soos wat sy pa nie kon nie, want ek dink nie hy het 'n pa nie.
Hang on. He's 21 years old. Woohoo.
You're never too old for hiding.
The wisdom that actually this little guy, here he is again with his proudly EFF jacket.
I've been a member since I was 18 years old, 21 now.
Is your grandfather a FMT leader?
Yes, my grandfather was Jack Markowitz. I believe the DA is a white supremacist party, and I'm trying to rectify the situation. We need to transfer the generational wealth and land to the disenfranchised people in this country.
Okay, just hang on. He says we need to transfer and hold that thought as well. The wealth and land, the generational wealth and land from this country.
So what do you think of this being up in the corner?
I think they yearn for apartheid. I think they use neighborhood WhatsApp groups and PPA and private security to uphold apartheid in their neighborhoods. This exists in every single white neighborhood in this country. The only difference is that in Brackenfell it's more potent and violent.
What do you think? Do you think the EFF is justified to come here and to protest outside?
I think they need to be doing more. I think we need to be taking this protest to Clifton and Houghton Park, where the 20 million rand houses are. Okay? I think Brackenfell there's not enough money here. These poor whites are angry and violent, and they're bored of their life. We need to take it. We need to take it where the rich people have money and they're still making money off that land, which is all generational wealth passed down from their parents.
Talk to us about the response.
Okay. They need to take it to the rich areas where it's generational wealth passed down for their parents. Carry on.
Of the WCED to this situation.
It's a DA situation. The DA is still a white supremacist party. Okay, they're not interested in solving the problems, the wounds of apartheid. I have no faith in any DA government body to solve any situation.
How do you feel personally when you see as a white person, as a young white person, we're supposed to be this rainbow nation, your generation.
It's not a rainbow nation. 94, we didn't fix the problem. Mandela sold us out.
Yeah.
We sold out Winnie, and today, and things like today, are part of the process of fixing that and healing these wounds.
How do you feel about the Cape Party being here?
I think the Cape Party is a white supremacist organization. And you see the way they dress, the way they're armed, they yearn for the old days. And I feel sad for them. They hold so much anger in their hearts.
And Jack, the independence, Cape Party is calling for the independence of the Western Cape.
Yeah.
This is something that we've heard from the Weve Plus leader as well. What are your thoughts?
It's these white people trying to hold on to their generational wealth. They're scared of losing their land. There's very valuable land in the Western Cape. We need to take this land and transfer it to the people of this country.
Shall I go first, or do you want to jump in there?
I don't know who wants to swear
Number
first.
one, he's 21 years old. All right. When did apartheid end? Number two, generational wealth, and we need to say this guy never even had a job in his life. He never even had to pay one car installment, one insurance premium, one payment on a mortgage. He doesn't know what income tax even is. He doesn't know what wealth distribution looks like, where it comes from. This is a publicity stunt, man. And he's probably going to get moored down the line somewhere for his publicity stunt.
Dude, I just want to tell you a little bit more about this guy. It's just, to me, it's it's ridiculous.
That is the face of privilege right there, first of all.
I want to show you. I want to show you.
Part of the struggle for years, man.
I want to show you some land. I want to show you some Beautiful. What do you think of those places? There's lovely places. Check that hotel there. There's the Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Cape Town South. Reservations opening mid-2020. There's the, let me just open this for me. There's the Catalyst, Johannesburg South. That's opening March 2021. There's La Maison de Ete, which is in Mauritius. Mount Kamdaboo Private Game Reserve in Crawfordnet. That's a game reserve with a lot of land.
Fancy places, huh?
Stock Exchange Hotel, Cape Town. It's pretty cheap. The rooms only start from 1,505 per room per night. Room only. Serengeti Sojourn, Tanzania. There's the Penthouse Collection in Cape Town. You can take a look there. The Dock House Boutique Hotel. The Queen Victoria Hotel. The Manor House. Nkumazi Private Game Reserve, where we start with, it's in Mpumalanga, South Africa, from 6,700 Rand per room per night. This is a game reserve. It's quite a bit of land you got there. Grieger's Camp at Mutswari, Private Game Reserve, Limpopo, South Africa. Mutswari Private Game Reserve from 6,650. Droste Hotel in Crawfordnet, 1,050 bed only. Oh no, sorry, my mistake. It's bed and breakfast, not too bad. La Splendia, Cape Town, from 1,000 per night, room only. Victorian Alfred, Cape Town, from 1,710. But if you make it 1.8, we'll chuck in breakfast. The Onyx Hotel, Cape Town. This one's a cheap ass one. This is from 850 bucks, room only.
Yo.
And Twini Zanzibar in Zanzibar, Tanzania.
All right.
These are, if you take a look at the top right-hand side, I'll just move this so I can see what I'm doing there. Newmark. Take a look over here. Newmark property.
Yeah.
Let me just change my tab to share my new tab with you quickly. Because there's management services, there's HR services through Newmark, everything like that. Let's get to this one. Newmark manages a distinctive collection of hotels, residences, reserves, and lodges in Africa and beyond its borders. Our portfolio includes the luxury boutique hotels in the iconic Victorian Alfred waterfront, Cape Town, and adjacent premium precincts. Our footprint of distinguished properties also extends to private game reserves in Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and the Serengeti, respectively. Closer to home in Crawfordnet, we offer hotels steeped in rich history and culture, as well as private game reserves that operate at the pinnacle. I'm not going to go through all of the stuff, but yeah, newest to the portfolio, residents make up significant portfolio.
Yeah, this is also not a small portfolio of properties, but I'm not sure how this links in.
It's all very, very nice. So you know what? Surely you will need to, this for meetings and stuff. Let me go, yeah. Surely you will need to, well, there's one of the beautiful ones. Services, finance, revenue, marketing, reservations, etc. I just wanted to see if I could actually find the history. So this is the history of our evolution. How far back does Newmark go? 1990, they got the Victorian Alfred Hotel from 1990 to 2005. 2005 to 2007, a third floor comprising 26 rooms was added to the Victorian Alfred. 2007, Dock House Boutique Hotel. 2010, Le Splendid, Cape Town. 2011 to 2013, Queen Victoria Hotel, and then the Dash Restaurant and Bar in Pierhead, Victorian Alfred Waterfront. 2013 to 2014, Mutswari Private Game Reserve, Limpopo. Giga's Game Camp, Mutswari Private Game Reserve, Limpopo, South Africa. Additional camp. 2014 to 2016, Nkumazi Private Game Reserve, Droste Hotel, Crawfordnet. This is 2014 to 2016. 2016 to 2017, Chuini Zanzibar Beach Lodge. Newmark head office moved location to the Merchant House building, Dock Road, V&A Waterfront. October Manor House in Cape Town. Hallmark House, Johannesburg. 2018 to 2019, you guys can see the dates here. Penthouse Collection, Cape Town. Serengeti.
Not actually showing on screen, huh? You're still on Finance and Human Resources on the tab on screen.
My Lord, sorry. Couldn't you actually warn me before I got to the end? Sorry.
Sorry, madam. Because I'm looking
I'm going through all of these things. I'm going through.
Oh,
So,
this
yeah,
is the one you're going to. All right.
Yesterday, yes, our evolution. It starts in 1990. V&A, more floors on V&A between that date. Dark House between 2710. La Splendid 2010, 2011, 2011, 2013. Queen Victoria Dash Restaurant and Bar, Victorian Alfred Waterfront. 2013 to 2014, Motswari Private, Game Reserve, Gigas Can Motswari. 2014, 2016, Kumazi Drostay Hotel, Crawford Net. 2016, Chuini Manor House, the head office moves to very prestigious Waterfront. 2017, 2018, Hallmark House, 2018 to 2019, Penthouse Serengeti, Tanzania, Penthouse in Cape Town, Onyx in Cape Town. 2019, third quarter, the Spectrum Johannesburg, and as you saw in a few others, they were opening some more in 2020 and 2021. So let's go back to where I was now. So Mr. Markowitz, I think it's Jack Markowitz, is insisting that this is money from parents or generations coming down to you, and that this land and this money, the land that you made that money from, must be given back to the people of the country. Although we are the people of the country, but no, probably black people.
Black people, yeah.
Okay, let's just take a look at the management team and the owners of Newmark.
Holy shit. This is gold.
CEO, Neil Markowitz. Newmark Hotels, Reserves and Lodges, a brand of boasts over 40 years of success, was initially established as the Ambassador Group in 1972, is led by Neil Markowitz. Its founder and chief executive officer, Neil undertook studies in both, it went down local and overseas. I'll have to open this up to try and see if I can get it there. Studies in both locally and abroad, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Science in the hospitality industry.
So do you think he's going to ask redistribute
Zyman Group's Human Resources Director. Okay, apart from the fact that you've maybe picked up that the top of the cream are all white and not as diverse as what most companies would want diversity of a company to look like in South Africa. Not that I have any problem with it at all. It's just that I know that somebody else was hauled over the coals ferociously for only having a white management team or whatever. But Mr. Neil Markowitz, CEO, also gave birth to a little baby about 21 years ago who doesn't seem to have grown up, called Jack Markowitz.
Look, Andre, we all know I was an arrogant dumbass at 21. I'm pretty sure you were...
Can't hear you. You're breaking.
Are you not getting any audio from me? Hold on.
Breaking. Anyway, while we wait for...
Sorry, let me just check. Can you hear me now?
You're like broken up and you're frozen.
I'm going to need to take a change on internet, sorry.
No, you're frozen and you're broken now, sorry. But anyway, while we're waiting for Neelius to join us, yes, Mr. Neil Markowitz is the father of Jack Markowitz, the prestigious EFF supporter who wants land and money given back to the country. Now, what does Jack Markowitz have in his family? Jack Markowitz has land in his family. A ton of land, because there are game reserves, there are hotels, and they are prestigious. And where does his money come from? His money comes from this land. I think Mr. Neil Markowitz must be a very, very, very proud father when he sees what his dear little son has attained to or achieved. It's probably a sad moment when your sibling sells you out and you've given them everything, because, as he said, he's been in a private school, and I'm sure he's been in the top private schools with top tuitions, and he hasn't wanted for anything, I'm pretty sure. And I have no problem with people having money. I have no problem with people earning a decent living. I have no problem with Neil Markowitz being the CEO of Newmark Hotels. I'm sure he worked really, really hard to get where he is. But I do have a problem when all of that is sitting in your back pocket and you've got the arrogance to throw it in someone's face. These poor people, or these people are too poor in Brackenfell. We need to go to the richer areas with the 20 million rand homes. Jack, buddy, mate, a lot of those 20 million rand homes are black owned. What do you want to do there? Knit one, skip one? A lot of those 20 million rands are internationally owned. What do you want to tell the international investors that, you know what, give it back? You're a suckling pig sucking on the hind tit, young man. You have no reasonable thought whatsoever.
Andre, are you getting audio from me?
I'm sort of yeah you a little bit, but you're sort of like still scratching around. And you're frozen. You've got a, yeah.
Okay, so can you not hear me now at all?
Let's take a look at my my last one on this gracious gentleman. Who is Jack Markowitz? 3 things you need to know about the EFF youth leader. Name him and shame him. The UCT students and EFF South Africa member, Jack Markowitz, have gone viral after speaking to the media on white supremacy and the protest outside Brackenfell High School in the Western Cape. Oh yes, admittedly by himself. His father was his grandfather was a member of the DA, not only a member of the DA, he actually did fundraising. He was actually a member of the DA party. He was a councillor, if I'm not mistaken. He was, oh man, Leon Markowitz, if I'm not mistaken, he said. And yeah, but now it is a supremacist, racist party, white supremacist, racist party. Where does this little snot come off? I just don't understand. So who's Jack Markowitz? Born and raised in Cape Town, Jack Markowitz. So he's born and raised in one of the most beautiful, influential, and expensive cities in South Africa. He's the EFF youth leader whose comment on racism at Brackenfell protest Friday went viral on Twitter. I sincerely hope, and it's a sad thing to say, that you and your family paid for your transgressions, young man. Jack, 21 years of age, not even born in apartheid era, has no idea what it is, has lived such a sheltered, invested, money-filled life. Yeah, so he's 21 years of age, is a politics and philosophy student. So I think this is what what's a big problem to him, because politics and religion and politics and philosophy don't really mix unless you're going to be wise about it, and you've obviously gone the other way, because you're nothing more than a little rat as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, the student at the University of Cape Town, he has been a member of the EFF since he was 18 years old. Oh, shame. Sweetie pie. Right. And then Jack Markowitz is the grandson of the former DA, MEC, and fundraiser in the Western Cape, Leon Markowitz. There you've got it. His grandparents and parents are multi-millionaires. He has wanted, needed, and known for nothing.
Do you think he's actually doing this to get back at his parents or to piss his parents off?
I can't hear you. You're making like gargling noises. Spoeg uit, you're gargling. So they own some of the most prestigious hotels in South Africa. So that's land and that's money. Jack, are you sitting with, you know, on your little bag of money trying to shout out and point fingers? Jack Markowitz comment, it's Markowitz, not Marowitz, I'm sure it's Markowitz, but anyway, comment about racism. The racism is installed in the bones of the people in Brackenfell. It's going to literature, bro, as it is across South Africa, but it is more open here. I went to a private school. Yeah, we saw racism everywhere, where there were white-only parties across the party. There were white-only parties across the parties. Things have gotten worse in the last 30 years. Today, we want to have that confrontation with white citizens. I challenge you, Jack Markowitz, to get your ass on this show, first of all. We'd like to have a chat here. But I do believe you would be too cowardly to actually do that. And secondly, I challenge you to be the first one to actually give away land and money, because you own most of it. You're just benefiting from it. It's actually quite disgusting to think that, yeah.
Right, is my connection fine now? Everything seems to be working.
I don't know what's happening with your mic, dude. Your sound's not really cool. And your picture's frozen.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely livid, flabbergasted. There's a couple of more, excuse me. Let me see, this couple of reactions I'd like to share while we're hanging there as well. Just taking
These people, these violent white people on the Cape Party and the DA, they uphold white supremacy through neighborhood WhatsApp groups, through private security, and through policing black people. It's more potent in a neighborhood like Brackenfell. They're more proud of it.
It's our little rat again.
But this exists in every single neighborhood in Cape Town, in the neighborhoods I grew up in. They just hide it better.
I mean, we all know why the EFF came here. It's all about politics, and it's all about creating racial divisions. So, you know, we're very disappointed to see that the EFF did that. And it's tragic that the school kids in this community are having to deal with all of this. The EFF should never have created this unrest. It wasn't true, and all anyone has to do is just ask the community members here. Look at the paper trail. There was, I think it was either emails or WhatsApp messages sent out to every single student saying you're invited to this. It's a private party. Let's also add that. It's a private party, so it's not a school function. It was a private thing, but all students were invited. The entrance fee was, I believe, 500 Rand, and only the kids that didn't want to pay that entrance fee didn't come. So there was absolutely no racial discrimination here, and the EFF is trying to make they're trying to promote and stoke racial division.
So we're not here to enthusiast any violence or anything like that. We're just here to see that the SAPS does do their work like they promised us and protect us. Because like we all know, This, in my opinion, shouldn't even be here. There's a school here, there's houses all around. This shouldn't even happen. So we're just here to make sure that the SAPS do their work.
Okay, yeah, that's about enough there. But I don't know if by now you're agreeing with me when I say OFF EFF. I think we've lost. I think we've lost Nelius totally. Although he is quietly sitting there, frozen next to us. I don't know. Wish the EFF would freeze and shut up like that for a while. Yes, you can talk. It's okay. We're not pointing at you.
Are you getting feed from me now?
A little bit. You're very tinny.
This is so frustrating. The one time that I have so much to say.
I've heard something about it being frustrating, but you're not in on it. But keep going. So yeah, I'm not going to actually reach onto anything else, and I can actually give you the one where the EFF were. Oh, something I did want to share. This is the peace-loving EFF, and I'm a little bit ticked at this one because this is what a white guy talks against. And be careful. This is the EFF Secretary General's speech.
These police are useless. They're not bringing our parents.
This guy has literally actually walked in, actually wants to ask a question.
Go to the door.
A non-violent protest for the EFF.
Fighters! Fighters! I'm a potato! One fighter! Fighters! 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 Fighter! Fighter! I'm a potato!
Okay. Why did they have to use tear gas to chase this away? Otherwise they would have killed this flipping guy. Bunch of mass hysteric, whatever.
No, come this way, 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 come this way. Don't go there, don't go there. No, don't go there. No. God! 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 Please! Please! I don't want to fight anymore.
So basically, what are you doing there? I don't want you around. I'm EFF, I'm happy to let everyone in the peaceful, but they want to smack you if you don't hear them.
What are you doing there? Why
Okay, once again, all this material is not mine, does not belong to me. Okay, thank you. And yeah, these are the peaceful people that we're talking about. So, okay, and I want to actually speak just for the last little bit on Jack Markowitz. First of all, this gentleman has a what? No need for anything, money rolling out all over. It's multi-millionaires. It's not like millionaires, they're multi-millionaires. Father, grandfather, he does not know what it is to want for anything. So it's easy to point fingers when your cup is running over. To look at people who are actually chanting to kill people, I mean, surely if he's such a staunch EFF supporter, he should know that they're singing kill the Boer, kill the farmer, one bullet, one settler. We are not going to kill whites yet. Cut the throat of whiteness. I don't know when last Jack Markowitz looked in the mirror, but you don't get much whiter than what he is. Even your bloody hair is white, son. So, yeah, you're like a freaking little white mouse. And that's exactly what you are, squeaking your teeth off over there. Because you're shouting for give back. You've got a lot in your back pocket. But you are not considering, you're condemning hardworking people. And you're calling them poor, and I can really assure you that people in Brackenfell are hardworking and yes, might be the average working person. They don't come from your kind of background, but they live decent lives. I have lived there myself as well. And apart from that, so your father owns Newmark properties, hotels and resorts and everything. Your grandfather was an MEC in the DA, which you now relate to as a white supremacist party. And as far as I can tell, and I stand corrected, but I do believe that I'm correct when I say that you are Jewish. And if you are so historically going to be correct about everything, then take a look at what Hitler did to the Jews, and take a look at what the EFF is reacting as. And I have no beans in saying that the EFF is a Nazi party. They act like Nazis. They want to dominate, they want to kill, they want to take over, they want to suppress. Now, you yourself have said that apartheid was evil, and I'm not the one to disagree with that. But don't be an arsehole and try and reverse it in the process. EFF, F off, is all I can say. Take a look at the fact that they have tried to have a peaceful protest, but they still managed to destroy car dealership manufacturer along the way, set a little bit of bush alight, stone the fire brigade when they came along to help. But no, this is not a problem to you. It's not a problem to you when they suggest that they kill white people or kill a farmer. It's not a problem to you when they suggest that they burn down lands. It's not a problem to you when they say they need to cut the throat of whiteness. This is the EFF speaking. I agree with the fact that the Cape Party probably shouldn't have been there, and if they were there, they should have been there in a sort of a private capacity and not a marketing capacity. The EFF did get, heaven knows how, permission for 100 members to be there. And eventually, after having a jam with the cops and that, the police, they were given permission for to get it up to 500 members. And yeah, there were over 2,000. What the police had to do, and of course mainstream media then pulled this thing out of hand as well and went, oh, take a look what the police did. Yeah, the police had to do something to sort out these non-cooperative people. Let's take a look here. Once again, not my material, just using it for reference. Water sponsored by the DA.
We bring you live visuals there coming out of Brackenfell. EFF members, of course, clashing with the police and chaos unfolding there. As you can see, the live pictures of police firing tear gas and water cannons, dispersing.
Just because you got a memo that says, yeah, okay, you can protest, doesn't mean that now you can skip the protest. Most of them don't even have bloody masks on, which is supposed to be a requirement with COVID.
They march to the school. You can see that some are on the ground.
Maskless. There's not a mask lying near him, with him. There's one with a mask. Next thing, old Cyril is wanting a lockdown again. Communism. Cyril can taste communism already because of the lockdown there. No, guys, EFF must just F off. And especially if you've got a little white rat like that, then you know what? Ratatouille. Go and play in your daddy's money or something like that. Go move to Mauritius. Go and stay in his hotel there or find a game reserve to get lost in. Really. Because you're a waste of skin and air. EFF themselves is an absolute tragedy and atrocity. But yeah. The rest I can't, I really can't take. Guys, I don't know what your feelings are. Mine are, Off EFF. Thank you very much for catching us. Don't forget, please like and subscribe. It's the only way we get out of here. Not get out of here. It's the only way we get our videos spread around. Please mail us on Peppers Echo, PEPRS @echo@gmail.com with any news, ideas, reviews, or anything that you would like us to actually look at and take care of. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you very much for watching us. I am sure from the NA discussion, Nelius and myself, I know that Nelius would graciously have wanted to be here, but he is here, but he's just not here in voice. But indeed so. Thank you very much. Take care, be good, and if you can't be good, at least be kind. Cheers, cheers.